Hello and welcome back. I saw this really neat clip on, well, that wasn't a clip, it was just an article that was done on a gauge for throwing pottery, which I thought was kind of cool. So I thought I would try to duplicate it. So basically what I have is I have a 9-inch T-bevel, which you can tighten and untighten. You can move it. Comes with a pointed end, and you can pretty much set it however you want. And then this point out here would be where the actual pottery would come to, whether in height or in width, coming out from the thing. So you want to shoot for this point. Anyway, it's real basic. So what I bought was a 9-inch T-bevel. Some epoxy, which is actually as you can see, metal and concrete. I'll go ahead and set this over here. I did read the directions thoroughly on the epoxy, and I'll go into that more in depth in a second. About this T, which is used in building materials. It's galvanized. So I have aluminum and galvanized metal. I got a little paper plate with a bamboo stir stick to mix the epoxy and then apply it. So we'll go ahead and move this over here. You can see the T is fairly large. I think it was probably $4. I did get one of the better, T-bevels. You can get them as cheap as probably $4 or $5. This one was about $10. I figured, hey, it's metal, it's aluminum, it's not going to rust, and I'm going to be using it around water and mud, so, Anyway, so, I'm going to go ahead and take this apart because I don't want to have to worry about it, tilting while I'm trying to stand it on or adhere it to the stand itself. And I put my parts over here. And on the directions, it comes in a 2-part epoxy. You have your catalyst and your hardener, or hardener is the catalyst. You got your glue and the catalyst, and they mix when they come out. This one actually doesn't mix it, it just puts out the two, and I'll show you here in a minute. But the directions state very clearly, got to make sure your stuff is clean before you try to adhere it, because that always runs into problems. So I just used a little bit of generic cleaner, sprayed, wipe off the end of where I'm going to actually attach the T-bevel to the T, and then dry it, because you want to make sure you don't want to have any liquid on there. If you've got liquid on it, you're going to end up, it's going to end up like a barrier between the two things that you're trying to bring together with the glue. So it's not going to work. It'll take forever, and sometimes it won't work at all. So I'm gonna scrub that area where I'm gonna apply it to. Let's see, this section is the stamped side. It's got a sharp edge on it. So I'm going to put that on the bottom, just because it'll tend to grip a little better. So anyway, now that it's clean, it's dried, I'm going to take and let's set this stuff aside and let's get the epoxy out. We'll go ahead and mix that. I've already cut the tip, and I've primered it a little bit, got it so it flows pretty good. You're going to pull it back just a little bit, pop the end off, so that way when you take the cap off it doesn't blow all over the place. It's a little difficult for these plungers. You try to push them at the same rate to get the same amount out. Go ahead, start pushing here, and there we go. You can see it's kind of, you see? Oh, got a little air pocket, so I'm going to stop. That should be enough. Pull back on the plunger to suck it back in so you don't cross-contaminate it and glue the end of your epoxy with no chance to use it again. And this only goes on one way. It's got a little It's got a little hump in the middle of it, so it'll only go onto this one way, so you can't end up putting the plunger backwards and it drying on itself. So, and then pull it back so you make sure it's on there nice and good. We'll go ahead and set that aside now. And mixing this stuff is like with any other kind of epoxy. You're just going to go in a circular motion, and you just want to get the stuff all nice and mixed up. You can almost feel it starting to get a little stiff, I guess is the best word to use. Wow, this stuff stinks. It is going to bond metal to metal though, so I'm assuming you don't want to get this on your hands either. So let's go ahead and make sure it's mixed up really well. As with anything, you know, if you're going to do it right. Take your time. Make sure that it's mixed up really well. Looks like it went ahead and stayed gray, so I didn't say anything on the package about it turning colors, but I've got my epoxy mixed. I'm going to go ahead. I'm working on a Formica top, so I don't really have to worry about it actually adhering to this, but you know, I'm thinking, no, I'm not going to worry about it, because I'm not going to get that messy. I'm going to put this actually right in the center of this, so I should have room around the edge if it kind of squeezes out. I'm going to go ahead and actually take a little bit of this and apply it to the bottom of this. And oh, it does stick. It's got good adhesion. And we'll go ahead and get it so the entire, you know, bottom surface has got pretty much the same thickness across it. I know I mixed a lot more than I needed, but it's better, you know, to have enough than not enough. And I'm just going to take it, press it down, and we should be good to go. This is not something that has to be perfect by any means, because, you know, it's just going to be, it's like I said, I'm going to be using it throwing pots. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and probably stop the video and let this dry. As you can see, it's squished all the way around, even the corners, you know, got a little bit around them. So it looks like it's adhered pretty well. I don't want to test it right now, but we'll let it dry for a little bit, and I will start the video back up on assembly and show you if it worked. Okay, so I'm back. I've waited about, after reading the directions on the back of the package, it said to wait 8 minutes. I thought it was kind of an arbitrary number, but as you can see, it's pretty hard. So I haven't tested this yet, but hey, what do you know? It feels pretty hard. It seems to be stuck to it pretty well. I would still give it, you know, a day or two before I started using it full hard on use, but it should pretty much be done. And like I said, you can mount the T on it to go this way, or you can turn it around and mount it on it to go this way. That's pretty much all there is to it. I'm going to go ahead and put the bolt back in it and balance the T-bevel section of it so it's even weight distributed across the bottom. It's not prying it one way or the other. And set it and let it go. But there's your, let's see, the epoxy was, I think, $4 or $5. This was $4, and this was about $10. So for about $20, which is considerably cheaper than a lot of the other, professionally made gauges that you can use and things like that. I thought it was fairly inexpensive for $20. I mean, I'm sure there's something out there that somebody else could use, to make one that might be better. So, anyway, if anybody has any questions, just post a note at the bottom of the video, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Have a great day.